Why would two Canadians, originally from Quebec, who've worked for more than 20 years in Niagara, be interested in working in Beaujolais? Because of Gamay Noir. Yes, sir. The Gamay Noir is a grape type that harmonizes with the rhythms and tastes of the world today. Gamay has a medium red color with a silky mouthfeel, a beautiful fruitiness, higher crunchy acidity, and a little less alcohol than many red wines. Gamay Noir goes perfectly with many cuisines. And the glories of its wine remain largely unknown to many wine lovers across this planet. Too often, wine lovers don't think of Beaujolais when they're buying wine. Of course, Beaujolais is known for Beaujolais Nouveau, which is a pretty simple, inexpensive red wine. But the real lovers of Beaujolais love it for its crus, which are found just to the south of Mâconnais. From north to south, they are Saint-Amour, Juliana, Fleury, Chenat, Moulin-à-Vent, Chérouble, Régnier, Morgon, Côte de Bruy, et Bruy. These are the 10 crus of Beaujolais. No, Mary and I wanted to do something different. Something for us, something by us, in tandem with the Beaujolais region. We wanted to discover and learn to know the unknown crus of Beaujolais, the Beaujolais village. And they're sometimes literally neighbors to the grandest crus of Beaujolais. With Bachelder, we've been working for 15 years with the Burgundian varieties, Pinot Noir, Chardonnay, and of course, Gamay Noir. We're used to perpetually working in the shade with Niagara's newly discovered, lesser-known terroirs. The underdogs, the forgotten ones, the underestimated ones, the improbable ones. We take an immense pleasure in revealing these unknown terroirs of Niagara. But how did we settle on the village of Lantignié? It's simple. We were trying to understand the Beaujolais village, like Cercier, Quincier, et Lancier. We wanted to work with the cru that imposed itself upon us, that most interested us, that spoke to us. For us, it would have been much less interesting to work with one of the 10 well-known crus that excite the hearts of Beaujolais lovers. We wanted to work with a cru that was much less well-known because that's exactly what we do every day in Niagara. And bing, that's where we found Lantignié, in the heart of the Beaujolais region, not far from Régnier, and very close to Morgon. But we didn't choose Lantignié because the village is beautiful. We chose it because the wine talked to us. We tasted and compared as many bottles as possible, coming from as many vignerons from the village of Lantignié as possible. And it's there that we understood and were seduced by this terroir that should be better known, that should be renowned. The time was right, and we formed a collaboration with Mommessin and with their winemaker Florent Georger. To start with, we walked the vines and we met the vignerons that have been working with Florent and Mommessin for some time. We went into the many different terroirs of Lantignié with the vignerons themselves, and we listened to them, and we steeped ourselves in the lore that they were passing down to us. We listened to them and watched them so that we could have a deeper understanding of the characteristics of the Lantignié terroir. The cru of Lantignié is divided into two, between the pink rock, the granite to the east of the appellation near Régnier, and the blue rock that is much the same as Morgon's Côte de Pie and is found mostly in the westerly part of the Lantignié appellation. So we started working with a handful of cuvées from the vigneron Alexandre Bergot, whose vineyards are found mostly on the pink granite. Then we pressed on further to the east with the beautiful, steep, hilly vineyards of Guy Plougonvin, now a Beaujolais, but originally from the Atlantic coast in Brittany. Guy works with higher altitude, steeply pitched vineyards that are equally divided between the pink granite and the bluestone. Now, with a clutch of cuvées in front of us, we started to make our first assemblage or blends with Florent Georger. We came up with some prototypes that were very cool, each one having the terroir of Lantignié front and center, but each one a little different. We came up with some prototypes that were really cool, all from parcels having the signature of Lantignié. Tender, rich, ageable, yet drinkable young. In the end, we chose the best iteration, the one that encompassed all the qualities we were looking for in Lantignié. And hence, we bottled our first collaboration, our Beaujolais Lantignié 2023. But just before we bottled the 2023, we initiated the first blending sessions of the young Lantignié 2024, which is to say, we selected the best parcels of each vigneron's wine from the 2024 vintage. The most promising cuvées, the ones that impressed us the most, the ones that displayed the core terroir flavors of Lantignié. It is with joy and pride that we release this special collaboration of Beaujolais Lantignié 2023. The 2023 Beaujolais Lantignié was the fruit of our collaboration between Mary and Thomas BACHELDER, Florent Georger, Mommessin, and their vignerons, to whom we owe a debt of gratitude for their passion and hard work in the vines and cellar, and their commitment to terroir transparency and the sense of place of Lantignié.